It's so nice meeting you all. Sorry for the little delay. And first of all, let's pray for our spiritual benefit to our predecessor acharyas. Om Agyan Timirandasya Gyanan Jana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Vena Tasmai Sri Guru Vena Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripatam Aham Vande Paramananda Madhavam He Guru Gyanada Dinabandhu Swananda Data Karunakashindo Vrindavanasin Hitavataram Prasida Radha Pranaya Prachara. Thank you for joining us. Today we continue our discussion about the main topics of the Srimad Bhagavatam or the Bhagavad Purana. This is a very important sacred book of our holy tradition. And of course, we have to remember the topics that we discussed before. This was the primary and the secondary creation. And later on, we shall also discuss some other topics, probably all the details, which are not only theoretical background of the created word and the divine connection, but also like more touching the heart, more like according to our connection, according to our line, because we try to follow the school of divine love. And the Bhakti Marg, this is a very beautiful way to approach the supreme truth, the absolute truth, in an emotional way, a spiritually emotional way. And our topic for today is also a very, we can also say a romantic one, because this is the special mercy of God Supreme towards his devotees. So what can we say about the protective mercy of God? We can discuss it in a theoretical manner with some philosophical background, with some quotations, with some ideas, or we can discuss it on the level of perception. How do we feel? How can we perceive the presence of this divine mercy with us in our life? So let us try to examine this topic in these two ways, in these two different approaches. One is like, like a theory, and the other is like an experience. So the title for today is POSHANA, or the special mercy and care of Krishna for his devotees. So mercy is a very delicate topic. It's difficult to give exact definition, yet you can immediately feel that something is happening if you can enter that connection, that relationship. And as the title or the explanation says, this is like a special mercy of the Supreme. And special means if there is a special mercy, there is a general mercy as well. So first, let's see what is the general mercy. How we can describe the general mercy of God. What does it mean? Let me quote from the Gita, where Krishna says that I am equal to all. We can say that this is the general mercy. I'm equal to all. I'm not a friend to anyone. I'm definitely not an enemy to anyone. I'm equal to all. It's nice. That means nobody is excluded from the attention of God. Nobody. Even the atheists are included in this attention. So the general mercy is a very broad mercy. It's not an exclusive mercy, but an inclusive mercy. But then Krishna continues, I'm equal to all, yet I prefer my devotees. I have a special liking for my devotees. So this is the chance for those who are trying to follow the path of mercy, because this doesn't work according to qualifications. It doesn't work according to some knowledge, according to some achievements. There are special requisites for being a full-time and a good practitioner in the Bhakti school. We shall discuss that later. So the general mercy is like a kind of supreme truth, a general principle, like a rule that is concerning all who are created, all who exist. This we can say a kind of universal, like Brahman approach. The special approach, the special mercy approach is personal. As we discussed many times, truth is impersonal and love is necessarily personal. So the special mercy is based on this personal attention of the Supreme on the individual souls, on the creation, we can say, and that is very personal. So Krishna's special attention on his devotees, this is the POSHANA. This is our topic for today. And here I want to mention two features, two aspects of our Lord. One is the ocean of mercy, fortunately, and the other is the protector of the devotees. We discussed that many times. Ocean of mercy, it's very hard to have even a faraway concept of what does it mean. But if you try to think and try to apply the words to your experience, ocean of mercy means that the ultimate dimension, how Krishna expresses himself, is a merciful approach. And this mercy is so great, so vast as the ocean. In some places in our tradition, they say that ocean in the spiritual speeches, it's not the general body of water. So it's not a saltwater ocean, but it's a field of consciousness. It's a field of consciousness. If you are on the shore of the ocean, immediately you will feel the huge distances. You will get a sense of eternity. It's so great, and you're so insignificant on the shore of the ocean that automatically it gives you a very special feeling, a kind of realization. So in the same way, the ocean of consciousness, a merciful consciousness, is also vast, unlimited. We don't see the other end, the other side, the other shore of this ocean. But nevertheless, it invites you passively to meditate, to think, to feel the ocean breeze, or invites you to put your leg into the water, and finally invites you to jump freely and to swim on the waves of this conscious ocean. So this ocean of mercy is one feature. So where you don't see the beginning and you don't see the end. When it's so vast, so deep also, not only broad, but deep as well. So I think this is how we can approach this feature of Krishna, that his mercy is very broad and at the same time very deep as well, just like the ocean. And it's so marvelous that we just admire this beautiful ocean of the mercy of the Supreme. So let's see the other feature, this protector of the devotees, Bhakta Vatsala. I think this is a very dear feature of Krishna to all the devotees, because in this way he comes so close to us. It's not that we are far away from some theoretical supreme truth, but he comes very close. He protects, he takes care. So I think it's a very, very substantial understanding of God, who is a caring, a loving, a protecting God, not neutral. So it's very important. Bhakta Vatsala, or protector of the devotees, this is a feature which we can approach through the 6 practices of Sharanagati, of surrender. You know that, but nevertheless, it's good to remember that the preparation phase of the surrender is a very practical 2 steps. One is to practice what is favorable for your spiritual practices. It's common sense. And the other is to avoid which is unfavorable. So to put it simply, if you want to make a fire, don't pour the water over the wood, because then you will not. It's much more difficult to start a fire. So if you want to start spiritual life seriously, not like a habit, not like a routine, but seriously, then bring the necessary ingredients, bring the firewood, and don't pour the water. Avoid which is unfavorable. So this is very, very common sense. We don't have to speak too much about this. There is a next stage of surrender. We can say that after the preparation, this is like the faith, like the trust. First of all, we have to accept Krishna as the maintainer of everything. To see this immanent side that pervades everything. He is there everywhere. He is a maintainer of the whole creation, your life included. So this is one side. And the other is to trust his protection. Trust the protection of the Supreme, but not in a challenging manner, but in a positive manner, in a mild manner. So this is like the faith aspect of the process of surrender. And ultimately, there is the practical side. We have the preparation, we have the trust, and now we have to apply our hope, our trust. And this is again two, we can say like spiritual or moral requirements. One is the humility, and the other is the dedication of the self. You know all these. Avoid what is unfavorable, practice what is favorable, trust Krishna's protection, accept him as a maintainer, be humble, and also dedicate yourself. So dedicating the self, I think it's a very dear topic to the Vaishnavas. And if we dedicate our self, and now I stress self, then what happens? Your self is not under your control anymore, right? You had given it to someone. If you dedicate yourself, then you become selfless. To become selfless, one way to achieve that very high position is to practice this humble, dedicated services to God Supreme. I think you understand, you see the beauty of this process, because selfless has two layers of meaning. One is when we meet a very nice person who's ready to help others, we call him a selfless person. But this is only on the human platform. If we go deeper, on the spiritual platform, selfless means not based on false identity, not based on false ego, right? So it's supremely important. But our process helps us to be selfless, to be false egoistic in a very nice manner, and not in an impersonal manner, but rather in a personal manner. Through service, through giving ourselves, we can get rid of all the false concepts that we have about our existence. So I think it's very important to understand this truth, that these simple practices of Sharanagati will give us a kind of spiritual high achievement to become selfless. So if we go further, then let me jump back to this ocean of mercy. How Krishna is the ocean of mercy. Maybe it's more difficult to see in Krishna's case, but remember, whenever he associates with his devotees, he serves their best purpose. Whenever Krishna associates with his enemies, or like Lord Vishnu when he meets the major demoniac forces. He also serves their spiritual benefit. So whatever comes from God Supreme is a mercy. Sometimes we see, other times we don't see. It's not always easy to see the mercy of God, especially in our own life, but it is there. Also in Mahaprabhu's case, you could see that whatever he did, any action he did, served multiple purposes to, so to say, to chastise one devotee, and at the same time to give a lesson to the others, also to glorify through this process, to glorify the path of mercy. So multiple results are achieved by one single activity. And what happens if we try to practice this process of self-surrender, the process of Sharanagati? The main goal is to give a chance to Krishna to exercise his mercy towards us, right? So what are the qualifications for becoming a practitioner in bhakti? Give a chance to Krishna to exercise his mercy on you. If you are unqualified in so many ways, it doesn't matter. But pay attention, don't be disqualified. To be disqualified in spiritual practices, it's a very bad sign. It's a very difficult case. You can be unqualified, lacking so many good features, but don't be disqualified. So we have to give a chance for Krishna to exercise his mercy. It is said in the Krishna book that Krishna is, his mercy is unlimited, unlimited. And he gives his mercy to his devotees also in an unlimited way. So the more we yearn for this mercy, the more we are eager to search for this mercy, most probably the more we can perceive, the more we can see. And this is again a miracle of spiritual practices. I think it's very human to protect what you have, right? I think we all have this tendency, whatever we have, whatever we possess, we try to maintain, take care, protect. Why is it there in the humans? Because I think it is there in God. In the spiritual sky, it's also there. Krishna likes what he has. Krishna takes care what he has. To put it very simply, God will protect the creation, right? So this is really a simple explanation, but a merciful God will take care of whatever he had started. And we should be the same like him. And therefore I say that it's very human to protect what you have. Of course, if we try to practice that on the material platform, it is a source of trouble, right? Why? Because then it is based on desires, ambitions, the feeling of possession, I, me, mine. So all these difficult and not so polished feelings, identities. And there is a trouble to achieve an object of desire. Then also if you fortunately achieve that, then you don't want to lose. You try to protect, you try to preserve that. But nevertheless, sooner or later we shall lose these dear objects. So the material level of this possessive and caring, even the caring mentality, is a source of trouble. Therefore, we need to spiritualize this human tendency that whatever you have, you try to protect. And there is one secret in our path, that by worship, the qualities will come to us. So if we accept that Krishna is supremely merciful, then, and we start to worship him in that manner, maybe his merciful attitude will also come to us, right? This is one way to spiritualize this human tendency that you want to protect what you have. Because if Krishna uses his protection, then it is fully spiritual. So how to do that? How to do that? We must have spiritual ambitions. At the beginning, I think everybody wants to become the best disciple, the best bhakta, right? And sooner or later you will understand, all right, if I can qualify as not the worst bhakta, then I'm successful. So the ambitions are there, and sometimes our human ambitions appear in a spiritual garb, in a spiritual way. We think that it's very spiritual, although this is still the same old material story. So nevertheless, we must have some good, positive spiritual desires or ambitions, I can say, because that will help you to grow. And sooner or later, the negative sides, or the imperfect sides of these ambitions will disappear. And as it is told to Arjuna, fight for the sake of the fight. So be a good devotee for the sake of being a good devotee, right? It's not necessary to have anything else beyond that ambition. Also protection, you can exercise your protective feeling for the deity, for example. I was so sure that in the old times, we had a very dedicated lady devotee, my god sister. She was the main pujari in our temple. And I was so sure that whenever there is any trouble, anybody wants to harm the deities, she will fight like a tiger, a tigress, I mean. She will fight, she will protect the temple, she will protect the deities, right? So this protective capacity or willingness of a devotee is very much applicable in spiritual life. Also, you can serve the mission, because to serve something, to make it grow, to help, this is also part of this attention. This is also part of this protective power. And here comes some very nice memories. One like serving the Guru, serving the mission. Once Srila Prabhupada was visiting the San Francisco airport in the old times, and one devotee told him, "Oh, Prabhupada, it was so nice to have this airport for us, for ourselves, for Krishna, for ourselves." And then Prabhupada told him, "This airport belongs to us. It's already for us." So it's a funny story, but it shows that if you are fully aware, fully conscious that God possesses everything, everything belongs to him, then you don't need to acquire things, right? But you know that it's for him. It's his possession. This protective power, another very, very deep example is when Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur once visited a place with a preaching group, and there was some opposition. So much so that in one way the devotees were under some danger, especially the Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. And he had one disciple, Keshav Maharaj, who was very similar in the bodily construction, was very similar to him. So what did he do? He took the clothes of Bhaktisiddhanta and he exposed himself to the danger, to the attack, to the attention. And in this way, he tried to save the master. So that also includes that sometimes this protection includes sacrifice. You sacrifice your life, you sacrifice your position in order to save the higher principle. So even if we have material ambitions, even if we have misconceptions, just follow the practice. Sooner or later, all the material shortcomings will disappear and spiritual perfection should come. How? This is a mystery. Two features are there. One is due to the divine knowledge. Knowledge can burn up the false shortcomings. And the other side is the mercy, the unseen help of God coming to you. So again, if in the beginning we are spiritually, so to say, in brackets, we are spiritually ambitious, later on you can become selfless. Selfless again. We were selfless, we discussed selflessness as a part of, or the result, we can say, as a result of Sharanagati, surrender. And again, by improving yourself in service, in ambitions, spiritual ambitions, in helping the mission, also you become selfless. So then our spiritual feature, our material human feature, like we want to protect what we have, will become spiritualized, right? So that's important in our spiritual progress. But again, we have to be careful because if our attention or our protective, the willingness to protect anything only superficial and not deep enough, then it is still a material quality. So to fully spiritualize our life, it takes some little time. But anyway, what we want to protect as human beings, there are different categories that you like to protect. One is, for example, your material possessions, properties, objects that belong to you. It's very simple. If you lose some of this, not a big loss. Another treasure, what usually humans have, this is the human relationships, like family ties, loving relationships, friendship, or in general, like a social field of our life. Usually this is very dear to us because humans are social animals, we can say. So we like to associate, we need company. So human relationships is the second treasure that we have, that we want to protect. It's so difficult to make friends, but it's so easy to lose one, right? It's a big loss. So better we don't lose, but we gain more and more friends on the spiritual plane, of course. But these are external conditions. Objects or relationships, these are external. What is on the inside? Internally, you have some thoughts, you have some cultural background, you have some spiritual realizations. You think you are very bright. That's another attachment. Another treasure also, because to know something, I think it's charming to be aware of some substantial spiritual truth. Of course, it's very precious. So we have to protect that. And finally, we want to preserve our spiritual achievements. It's natural. You don't want to lose the taste that you had for chanting. You don't want to lose the good feeling of being in the company of the devotees. We are not born for losing this very precious stuff. But if we humans have, either on the material or on the spiritual side, these treasures, like material objects, human relationships, thoughts and realizations, or spiritual achievements, these are the four main categories. Then how is it in the case of Krishna? What is his, so to say, material possession that he wants to protect? Well, for you, it's very insignificant. A few objects. For him, it is everything, all in all. The whole world is for him. This is his property. It is his, in his possession. So, and as a good master, he wants to take nice care. What is Krishna's, so to say, human relationships? This his social circle. It is his devotees. He likes his devotees so much, right? As it is said, Krishna is never alone. Krishna is not nice if he is alone. The main company of Krishna is, of course, the loving potency, Radha and Govinda, always together. So his devotees is another treasure for him. And what about intellect? What about thoughts and realizations that we humans, we are so much proud of our brain, proud of our intellect? Well, Krishna has a total and perfect consciousness. Nothing is missing from that. So we forget. Karma never forgets. They say God also doesn't forget either, but he is ready to forget. Everything is recorded, all good and bad is recorded. He knows, he is aware of your shortcomings and your positive sides. But he is ready to forget. He is ready to forget. By nature, he has this all-knowing capacity. Nothing is hidden from him, but he is ready to forget about the shortcomings. So perfect consciousness is with him. And finally, what about the spiritual achievements? Of course, it's very, very strange to speak about the spiritual achievements of God Supreme, but anyway, the most interesting thing for Krishna is prem. Prem. He is also searching for prem, for loving relationship, right? So just imagine something that is, so to say, challenging God or inviting the attention of our Krishna. It's such a marvelous topic. Prem is attractive for Krishna as well, although he is all attractive, but this one is attractive for him. So it's a very, very special ideal. So we can say that Krishna's treasures are the whole world as a possession, his devotees as a social sphere, his perfect consciousness, always focused on the essence, and finally, the prema as his spiritual assets. And he wants to protect all these. Definitely, he doesn't want to lose anything from these stuff that he has. He doesn't want to lose the word. He doesn't want to lose his devotees. What to speak of prema? It's an eternal search, an eternal quest for him and for us as well. Also, Mahaprabhu's treasures are there. So what are the treasures of the humans that they want to protect? What are the treasures of Krishna, Govinda, what he wants to protect? And what are the treasures of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he wants to protect? If Krishna had the whole world for him as a possession, then we can say Mahaprabhu has the whole yuga for his possession, because he's a Gupta avatar coming for the souls of this yuga, of this age. So this is for him. It belongs to him. The holy name is another treasure of Mahaprabhu. And his deep meditation when he's traveling in the leelas of Krishna and he forgets about himself, it's another treasure. Of course, his devotees through whom he achieved so many goals, the Sankirtan, the Mahaprasad, it's so special treasures. And he is a very kind avatar because he wants to share. He is ready to share. He doesn't see if we are qualified or not, but he is ready to share. Why? Because ultimately, the whole world belongs to Krishna. Ultimately, all souls are his energy, right? And the caring and the loving and the protecting God wants to have their return. So in this way, Krishna as a merciful avatar also serves this purpose of POSHANA, of this divine protective energy of the Supreme. And as I told, that mercy and protection is sometimes based on sacrifice, then one thing I have to mention, which is very, very important, and this is the Purusha Sukta in the Rig Veda. Rig Veda is considered a very high holy book, sacred revelation, and this Purusha Sukta, the hymn to the cosmic being or the divine being, it's a very special one, because there it is described that the Supreme Lord is ready to offer himself as a sacrifice for the benefit of the whole world, the later creation, because we are at the very beginning of the creative process, but he is ready to give himself as a sacrifice for the success of the later happening, in the future happening creation. Just imagine. That means he's ready to give his blood, life, whatever he has for us. So this is a very high class sacrifice. God is, in Christianity, they accept that Lord Jesus comes to save the world by his sacrifice, his own sacrifice of life. But we understand from the Purusha Sukta that our Lord comes before the creative process to offer himself as a sacrifice. It's a very high grade of concept. And as I mentioned you, by worship, the qualities can come to us. If we worship Krishna in that sacrificial manner, in his way to take care, to serve, to go with the creation, not to leave the creation. This caring, loving, serving mood can also come to us. So on the very simple human platform, you can also improve your life in a very high standard, because in this way you become a very responsible person. So after this little theoretical discussion, let's see how can we protect something. That's POSHANA, this protective, merciful attention of God on the creation, how it happens in our life. How can you protect something? You can keep something hidden or behind closed doors, right? For example, you don't open up a secret. You protect a secret. Or you protect the weak ones, right? If somebody is weak, then you want to protect him, her, not to expose to any violent influence, because they are weak. Or if you have a treasure, you want to hide it. So this is one way to protect something. You want to cover, you want to hide, you want to, keep under control, right? I think we all have such stuff that we want to protect like this. Another way of protecting something is you use it. Because if you preserve some very precious object for yourself, don't even touch. The other way is you use it. You want to protect something by using. Because if you use something, then you don't lose it, right? If you use something, then you don't lose it. For example, therefore, if we want to protect our mission, if we want to protect our spiritual school or tradition, we have to practice, we have to use it. Then it will help to maintain that tradition. So I think you see the difference of approach. One is don't touch, keep away, don't touch. One way of protection. The other way of protection is use it, touch it, do it, right? Because it will help to maintain. If you have an instrument, any kind of instrument, you use it, you don't let it rust. Therefore, for example, the copper is considered to be the student's metal. Student's metal. You always have to touch, use the copper, because if you don't touch, then it will rust. This greenish patina will start to appear on the copper. So therefore, the disciple also always has to maintain, do, be active, practice, because in this way your copper will not become rusty. So the other way to protect something is use it. Go ahead and use it. There's a third way of protecting something, and this is to associate with something, to associate with someone. If you go with the person, then you can easily protect him, her. So if you share your life with him, if you are ready to go with him, or you are ready to invite him to yourself. So association is another way of protection. It is said, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to cover a long distance, go in company. We need to cover a long distance from our present position to perfection. Therefore, association, satsang, is very important for us. It is also said, a realized person will always feel the company of God. if I live, you are with me. If I die, I am with you. So what's the difference? For a realized, accomplished spiritual person, there's no difference between life and death, here and there. Association is the third way of protecting something. But there is a fourth way of protecting something, somebody especially, if you leave it alone. If you leave him alone. If you let him be exposed to difficulties. If you teach him, him or her, of course, always included. If you teach him how to fight, how to survive, right, through difficulties, but always be ready to assist, always have an eye on the situation. So I think this is the fourth way of protecting something, making the other person stronger by letting him, her struggle, fight, take the trouble. I think this is also a kind of trust to the other person, right? I trust you that you can resolve this problem. I give you the power, the understanding, the intellect, the faith to overcome the difficulties, right? So to associate with someone and protect him, her like this is a direct way. To leave somebody alone is an indirect way of protection. Which is stronger is difficult to decide. One is strong, the other is, I think, more strong. If we are separated, then we immediately understand the value of being united, right? Immediately. As soon as you lose it, you will understand, oh, it was too much precious. So sometimes this leave me alone helps you to realize what is the real value of spiritual assets. And finally, so this is about so much about the theoretical approach of POSHANA, how God takes care. But how do you feel? Do you feel his care? Or do you feel like neglected, that you are left alone? What is your feeling? What is your depth of perceiving this ever-present help, attention, care of God Supreme? Do you feel it? I'm sure you had seen some devotees who are like swimming in the ocean of devotional life. They're happy, jolly all the time. And sometimes you stand on the shore of this ocean, this devotional oceans with a sour face, and you don't swim, you feel neglected, etc., right? While others are swimming in a very happy way. So that is more real. Standing on the shore is not real. That's illusion. If you don't enter the circle, don't say that you're not invited or you're neglected. Just enter the circle. Try to feel Krishna's attention always. It's always there. It's always there. If you want to perceive his loving, caring mercy, just look around. It's all around. Just look at the beauty of creation. It's for him. It tells about him. Oh, yeah, yesterday night, I just opened the window and the nightingale started to sing. I was mesmerized. There is no functional explanation for the nightingale. It's a mishap of creation because it's so beautiful that it's and somehow, you know, I like birds. But this one, yesterday night, this was very special, unusual. And if you slow down the singing of the nightingale, I think 16 times slower, then it's just like a human voice, just like a lady singing in an aria from an opera. It's just marvelous. For me, that is a direct proof that God exists, right? Because there's no other way how it happens. It's just look around. It's all over. It's all over. His creation speaks of him. If you don't see him directly, if you don't feel his association like a direct experience, try to have indirect experience through some channels, through some means. You can see Krishna's beauty in his devotees. You can feel his blessings through your spiritual master, right? So just look around. If you look around and you see the beauty of creation, that's an indirect way. If you chant more and enter deep into your realizations, then sometimes you will have a vision, a divine vision. Something will reveal to you, right? You can see the yoga Aishwarya of Krishna, and he reveals some of his secrets. Just try to feel that he keeps you in his palm as a treasure. Try to feel like this. And it's so simple to, if we feel it, then it's so simple to be grateful. Because simply then you can say, my life is blessed. My life is blessed. This is the way how I perceive the POSHANA, the special attention of God, the merciful God on his servants. And two quotations let me read for you. One about from the Srimad Bhagavatam about the indirect mercy, indirect attention of God Supreme, of Krishna. It's so nice. One very favorite quote is from the second canto, where it is said, when there is the earth to lie on, what is the necessity of bed? If you can lie down on the ground, what is the use of having beds? If you can use your own arms, then what is the use of a pillow? When you can use your palms, your hands, then what is the use of utensils? When you can find rags and barks of trees, then what is the use of clothing? So whatever is provided for us, it's there. Just look around, see the beauty. Are there no torn clothes lying on the common road? The trees, they don't give alms anymore? Or did the rivers dry up and don't supply water to the thirsty? Are the caves of the mountains are now closed? And above all, does the Almighty Lord not protect the fully surrendered souls anymore? So it is always there. If you deeply understand that my life is blessed, then whatever you meet in your life, you will take it as a blessing. And therefore, I'd like to quote another verse for you. This is from the Brahma Samhita, and it says, in one way, this is very jolly. It's a very happy realization that Krishna reads the hearts. He says, Brahma says, I worship Lord Govinda, the original Lord. Men are glorifying him with the hymns of the Vedas. So this is the duty of man as a spiritual practice, to glorify him with the hymns of the Vedas. And they will gain, the man will gain their appropriate beauty, greatness, like power, thrones, vehicles, and ornaments. Right? So usually these are the objects that man like. Some position, some beauty, like a nice body, fitness, and also the vehicles, the cars. Small boys like small cars, big boys like big cars, right? But Krishna will provide. He reads the heart of man. I think he reads the mind of women as well, but that is a different topic. But if we have any ambition, anything, any desire, material, spiritual, supremely spiritual, it will be fulfilled. And of course, this quote is not about the cars, because why should we speak about cars? But there is a desire to move, to change your position. And the vehicle is for that, changing your position, moving around from one point to another point. That's the real essence here. So your desire to go to a next stage of your life will also be fulfilled. It's not the cars, it's the movement, is the achievement that will be supplied to you by our Govinda. So directly or indirectly, you can see his loving care. You can perceive his attention on you. And I shouldn't forget about one question. There was one question a little bit related to the topic today, which is the POSHANA, or the special mercy of Krishna and his devotees. And this question was about justice and mercy. And I think my preference is for mercy, but nevertheless, we have to pay some attention on justice as well. But so the main question was, where is the end of the justice and where is the beginning of mercy? Because we need to understand these limits, this section point where the two meet. Or one has a power until a certain limit, and after that a different word starts. Rules and laws and justice is only up to a certain limit, and after that another universe, another world will start, and this is the merciful universe. So where is the start and where is the beginning? Where is the end of justice? What is the ultimate limit of justice? Until it is interesting, where do you come from? That is justice. Justice is concerned with your past. Where do you come from? What have you done, good and bad? This is justice. searching for your past. And where is the beginning of mercy? It depends on your ideals. Where are you heading? Which is your goal? Mercy is concerning your future. Justice is concerning your past. So our past is complicated. If justice is exercised, it's a difficult case. But as soon as mercy comes to our life, it will open up a new chapter. It will open up an eternal chapter for our benefit. So the last limit of justice is the end of your past, and the first step of mercy is the beginning of your future. And therefore Srila Siddha Maharaj says the best way to change our past is to change our future, to cultivate our future. If we spiritualize our future, then you have already changed your past, which is very difficult. And anyway, if we feel, somehow we perceive this loving care of the Supreme, then what will happen? You will be satisfied. And the difference between the material kind of happiness and the spiritual kind of happiness is great. It's a big difference. Because on the material plane, people are usually satisfied when they have everything, right? Which is practically impossible. You cannot have everything. So therefore this material chase after happiness is, frustrating. But the spiritual happiness means that nothing is missing. Nothing is missing. So you see the big difference? One is trying to possess everything, while the other is satisfied. He doesn't lack anything. Nothing is missing. So I hope you will start more and more your spiritual experiment to see, to perceive, to feel this divine protection over us. Because in my understanding, even the first step in creation, the first step in existence serves the purpose of the final return home, back to Godhead. So the last miracle will always tell about the first miracle. And we want to see Krishna as a merciful God, not only a God of justice, not only a God of might and power, but a God of love, affection, care. And He is giving. You please also give care, spiritual attention to others, serve the mission, help others to realize their spiritual identity. I think this is the best way to feel this divine mercy over ourselves. So today we discussed some little theoretical points about POSHANA, about this special mercy of our Krishna Govinda compared to the general mercy. So special mercy is for those who establish a spiritual relationship with Him. We also discussed the possessions, the treasures of a human being. We also discussed how can we protect something. And finally, we discussed a little bit about the personal experience, how we can perceive, how we can feel this divine attention. And I can say that my life is blessed because I had met my master, and that really started a new life new word, a new experience for me. And also meeting you helps me always to remember that there is a goal of our life. There is sharing about spiritual values, spiritual ideas. It's nice. And by serving the spiritual benefit of others, we can also serve our own spiritual benefit. So be merciful to others, and you will also receive more mercy for yourself. Thank you so much for your attention. Be blessed, and I wish all good success in your spiritual endeavors, and hope to see you very soon. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Gurudeva.
Jai Gurudeva. Haribol.
Haribol.
Thank you.
We have Liwaji here.
Oh, really? Nice. Oh, good. How are you today? Better?
He just left.
Taxi, Lila. Oh.
He just left.
Yeah. Now it's better. Now
така съм се чувам. По-добре съм, Гурудев. Много по-добре. Тук от едно време вече... Добре. Слава на Бога.
Some good improvement is there for you. So
бактите.
That's nice.
Има подобрение и съм по-добре и физически, и емоционално, и психически.
Да.
Радвам се,
Nice.
че...
Spiritual?
Човек.
That is always
подобрение само ми остана горда.
It's always there. It's provided. And it's important. You have to improve.
Just want to say that we have Dragia's account here, but he's not here.
Oh.
Because this is his first time in Zoom by himself, so we messed up a little bit. Next time we will improve.
Yes, please.
But
please convey my blessings to him, as today is his birthday, and after the Second World War, they celebrate this day as a day of victory. But let this day be a spiritual victory for Dragi.
Yeah, I hope.
So nice. Did I put your question properly?
Yes, Gurudev, thank you so much.
Complicated question, simple answer, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Where do you come from? Where are you going? It's a big difference. What about your past? Ooh, it's hazy. What about your future? Oh, it's bright.
Very, very relaxful answer.
All right. The more heavy answer I will give you in person.
Okay.
More realistic answer.
Thank you for that.
How is everything in Sofia and in Bulgaria? Fine?
Gurudev, we have a week off. Most of us were not in Sofia most of the time.
Oh, really?
But they can share. Yashoda is not here also. Where are you, Yashoda?
Haribol, I am in Asenovgrad, and you can see here the old school. It's very blessed place, and come and make a movie about historical museum here.
Nice.
And now they're working with Chandrika, and Kamen is here. Lala. They have a break here.
Oh, so nice.
And this is very blessed place, very spiritual. You know, in Asenograd there are I don't know how many church, maybe 100 church there.
Really?
Here there are church, but it's very.
Yeah, I see. Oh, beautiful. Oh, yes. Nice.
There are almost 100 church here. Very, very blessed place.
Maybe we also establish an ashram there.
Yes, we can do it with your blessing.
Why not? Yes. Good. Very nice. Yeah, this is the beginning of May. You have the days off in Bulgaria. Yes. Oh my God, this was the.
And you're not here.
The time when I visit. So now this is an indirect way of association. Not a direct.
Той го видя, аз го показах. Дръж слушалка.
So nice.
Harililka, where are you?
I am in Greece, near to one Greece church.
Today we are very international, right?
Yes.
Covering the whole Balkan Peninsula. Right.
Haribol Gurudev, thank you for your connection, for your meeting.
So nice.
Greetings from Yuko also. Just a second.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh,
nice
Jai Ho. It's my
nice
pleasure. It's my
Thank
pleasure.
you very much for everything.
Jai. Take nice care. Have a nice time.
Thank you very much.
Jai. Oh my God. All right. So.
And how is everything in Hungary, Gurudev?
I don't know. I sit in Ludasto. I'm not in Hungary. This is the spiritual world. But I'm sure you had seen the wedding, the beautiful ceremony.
Yes.
Beautiful ceremony. The families who came for the first time, they were very happy, very satisfied. They didn't even want to go home. They were so happy. It was very nice. And slowly, the real season will start here. So more occasions, programs, we try to organize more and more. So it's more busy now in Ludasto.
Maybe we can come in August Mela, or it will be forbidden.
I don't know. I'll give you the permission.
Please tell the government also to know.
All right. We shall tell them. And of course, as soon as possible, I'm also willing, but it's not willing, I'm flying to you. I don't know when the time will come.
In May, Gurudev, each year in May.
Yeah, this is the beginning of May, so we have some 3 weeks to go. Let's see. Yeah, usually May is the season for visiting you, but maybe not this time. How can I serve you better? Give me some ideas.
The question is how we can serve you better.
Oh, it's a spiritual competition.
Yes. Now is our turn to serve you.
Well,
do so many things to us.
The time will come. Your time will come. But I think really deeply that we have to say, we have to declare that our life is blessed. Now, sometimes we forget about this, right? There's so many troubles and, you just forget about the very special chance that we have received. I think it's a miracle by itself. So if first we declare it, then probably we can also, be more grateful for that. Because I think that our Krishna's attention is on us with a purpose. There is a purpose. I'm still searching for that purpose. But I think we all need to identify this why this attention is given to us. Individually, as a mission, it's important. So please keep up the spirit. Or you have 2 more minutes?
Even 2,000
2 more
times
lifetimes, Gurudev.
2 more lifetimes, all right. But let me share something with you, which is somebody gave a kind of inspiration, like something came to him, and I think it's nice. It says, the soul belongs to God in such a strong manner that their connection is inseparable and in due course of time will irresistibly manifest. Right? So the connection is always there, and the moment will come when it just overpowers everything. All water will finally reach to the ocean. Nothing can block this return home. Time, illusion, ignorance, or desires, attachment, or even atheism, offenses and sins can only postpone this return for a moment, but they cannot make it impossible. As sin is no other than love out of rule and order. It's very, very important. Sin is nothing else than love, little out of order, right? So whenever you see any mistake on others, remember this. It's love out of order. We should not start from the present situation. Don't start from here. Oftentimes, we believe that this is reality, although, at least theoretically, we have heard that this is illusion. What a contradiction. In the world of illusion, you think that you are aware of the truth, right? But returning to the separation, the momentary separation is not true. The true reality is the eternal connection. That is incomparably more real, more true, more profound, and more meaningful than the false reality of being separated. It is not like we start from here and reach there. Rather, we had started a little detour from there to this place. Real reality is far beyond. It's over there. This one is the world of illusion. What we should not start from illusion, from deficit, from separatedness, rather from totality, from entirety. It is not going astray that is important, rather to find our way back home, back to Godhead. This is important. So don't start from here. You had started from over there, right? So then I think it helps. It helps us to be patient, to find this return. It helps us to tolerate the small difficulties in life, right? So don't start from here. You had started from over there. Don't start from illusion. Start from the truth, from the reality. All right. This is what I wanted to share with you. And I think it's not bad. So take it as a good message for today, and see you very soon. Thank you for the attention. Be blessed.
Haribol.
Gurudeva ki.
Jai.
Jai.
Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.
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 Thank you so much. Jai Haribol.
Haribol. Haribol.
Haribol.
The Bhakti.